Hey everybody, it's the Nitty Professor, and it's time to give these thirsty boots a nice conditioning with Bick 4. This is the first time I'm using this product. I've actually owned it for a little while, so it's high time that I put it to good use. So these boots are my Truman Evergreen Cheaha boots. I love them. They have been with me on some very fun adventures, the most fun being when I spent a week in Trondheim in Norway last March, and I had so much fun. I'm frankly ready to go again. So I've given you a chance to take a peek at these, but if you weren't there, why, we have your Truman specific commando sole, the structured cap toe. I guess you'd consider this a 6-inch boot. I just adore this build. Very, very comfortable. We've got the 270-degree Goodyear welt. Very beautifully made by Truman. I've had these for a couple years. I have never conditioned them. So I've gotten a start going. This is the right boot, and I have already cleaned it. So what Truman recommends for cleaning is pretty straightforward. And I'm going to go through those steps with you. So the first step is to take a dry cloth and dust it off really good. The way the instructions were written, I thought was a little bit unclear because it said something about a brush and sandpaper. And the way it was worded, I was like, do we want to brush it or not? And I think not is kind of what they were trying to say. So this leather is obviously, it's beautiful. Even when it is dusty, you can see, it's been in the sun, been in the dust, and it has a nice patina, which is desirable in my book. But like I say, it's probably been a little bit too long since I gave these a good conditioning. I haven't done it. And the last thing I want is for this leather to deteriorate, to crack, to wear out prematurely. So you want to get off most or all of the dust. And I'm just using this terry cloth. Very straightforward. There are probably better cloths I could be using. I could be using my Grant Stone cloth that they sent me with my kangaroo diesel boots. But I have a lot of these terry cloth rags hanging out. I'm going to try to get in these creases really good because I want to get down in there as well. Dirt can really get trapped in that spot as well as along the seams. The Truman instructions that come with the box also highly recommend that you treat the edge dressing. In fact, it said something about the rubber deteriorating without giving me any detailed instructions as to how I could prevent that. So if you have advice on what to do for the soles, as you can see, these are duly pockmarked from all the rocks and cobblestones I walked on in Norway. So I would be glad to take advice on treating the sole. I wouldn't want that to crack either. So now that I've dusted my boot off, I am going to wipe it down with a damp cloth. So again, nothing, scientific. It's kind of a labor of love, right? It's like, this is my baby and I'm giving my baby a bath. And I like these boots enough to lay claim to their having the status of my offspring in a minor kind of way. Again, they've seen me through some adventures. They've been on lots of dog walks with me. Probably they've mowed the lawn a couple times. I thought to myself, they're green. They can get grass stained. It's not going to hurt anything. So I want to kind of really do a thorough job here on the toe because that's where the grass stain is going to be most likely to occur. And again, I want to get in all the creases. There are lots of creases, as you can tell, on my tongue. No, I don't use kilties, partly because it's just too much work for my ankle to plow through that when I'm trying to bend it. So I have to look out for my feet as well as the boots. But I kind of like what the stories my tongue is telling me as far as how much use I've put this boot to. So now that I've given this a good wipe down, it has to dry, and it should dry fairly quickly. So while we're waiting for that to dry, now I can take my right boot, which I already subjected to this treatment, and I can get out the Bick's 4. So on the bottle here, I'm told I have to shake it. And since it's been sitting around in my drawer for a good while, I think it's imperative to shake it good and properly. That should do it. And I'm not sure I've ever even opened it. Hopefully nothing will blow up, right? So I'm to apply, I'll just read the directions here. On the back of the bottle, apply Bick 4 liberally with a cloth. Okay. Liberally. Well, I'm going to figure out what liberal is. Do I need to, I don't know if I need to remove a seal. Oh, see, that I'm guilty. I've owned this and I haven't even gotten the seal off. So the first thing you want to do before you apply your Bick 4 liberally is remove the seal. So got that off. Now we should be in business. All right, I'm just going to pour it right on the cloth here and let her rip according to, I don't know, I guess it's, I read somewhere, it was either on the instructions for the Bick 4 or on the Truman card that came with the boots, that you can't really over apply this conditioner. You can't really use too much. The key is to cover all of the leather with the product. And, give it a good coating so that the conditioner can soak in there. Let's see if I can raise my work up here just a hair so you can see what I'm doing. I have lots of books here to help me with my video production. It's really high tech here. There, that's perfect. Let me get some more on here. It's not liberal enough. I got to be more liberal. This stuff doesn't smell as nice as the leather, I'll say that, but I suppose the smell is telling me that it's doing something. So that's definitely what we want. I'm going to try to really rub it in there, and it looks like it's just drinking it right up. I mean, it's really just going right in there. That tells me that I'm none too early with my efforts here to give these beautiful green boots a drink. Let's work on this part here. I'm going to try to really massage it in there. Probably not the best leverage here on this book pile, but we're going to get it done. And I'm going to try to apply it also on the edge dressing down here, because those have also, on both boots, the edge dressing has really taken it on the chin with rocks and ice, cobblestones, just you name it, sticks. And, you can kind of see it's a little roughed up there. Let's work on the tongue here. Slather it good on the tongue. Try to get into all the creases so that the tongue is happy as well. There we go. That looks pretty good. And I want to turn it around and get liberal. You ever watch Tring, Key and Shoe Repair, where he says, "Let's get sticky"? He's a lot of fun. I really enjoy his videos. If you haven't watched Tring, I think it's called Key and Shoe Repair. I recommend it. He's a lot of fun. He has way more technique than I do as far as video production, and he's pretty funny. And he's also very good looking. So anyhow, I just had to add that in there. I'm getting a little old to talk about that kind of thing, But I write about it, so there you go. Gotta have fun. I think we're getting a pretty good coating on here. And I want to compare this boot after the application of the Bick's 4 with the other boot. See what the difference is in appearance. So this one's already drying, the left-hand boot, and looks like that. Right-hand boot looks like that. So yeah, could definitely see a difference. The color is more saturated now. The leather looks a lot happier, and I can even see, there's enough conditioner in there to where it's almost pooling a little bit in those creases, which is good. So let's read the next step. You can repeat it. I could repeat it. It says let dry and buff. So we'll let this sit here for a minute and we'll work on this one. And I can visually see, I'll get these two lined up in front of the camera. You can see the top boot that I just put the Bick 4 on is darker and prettier than the bottom boot. So that tells me that it's just a good thing that we're doing this. And while we're getting this other boot going here, I'd love to know what products you people use. I know a lot of you talk in very enthusiastic terms about the Venetian shoe cream products. They seem like they're highly recommended. And I've used some wax type products that I've enjoyed on some other boots. There is a fair amount to choose from. I've used the Neats Foot Oil. I tend to use that on the Red Wing boots because, you know, it's like what they recommend for their boots. And I do have quite a number of Red Wing boots. So I'm like, well, that's what they recommend. That's what I should be using on those. So I've used that, and I've used it on other boots too. But, you know, if you know of products that you highly recommend, share that with all of us. Heck, you know, I kind of consider this an opportunity for us to advise each other and learn from each other. And, you know, I've heard good things about this Bick 4. It comes highly recommended, but it's not the only product out there, you know. So I picked this product up at a Runnings store. They do have a lot of cowboy boots, so they have pretty decent supply of leather conditioners, which is nice. That being said, you know, they don't have everything. And I have also bought some products at the Nick's store when my son and I were there, but that was 3.5 years ago. I'm not sure. That was a while back. It might have been 3 years ago. And yeah, I'm getting low. So this is actually probably about all I have left in the conditioner area is this Bick 4, which, as you have noticed, I haven't used till now. So it's high time. But it seems to be doing a pretty good job. I like what I'm seeing here. I think that part needs just a little bit. It's a little bit more thirsty than you might want to admit. So make sure that we're really saturating this leather, the edge dressing, really get down and dirty, get it in all the tiny little creases of the leather. I think it's a good idea. Down in the arch area here. There, I think we're in business now. It's kind of all over my hand, so I hope we're in business because it smells weird. And there you go. So that's what the second boot looks like now. This feels pretty dry. So the next step is buffing. So I'm going to just take a cloth and rub, buff. I don't know what kind of shine we're going to bring out here, but we're about to find out. So I'll try to give this one a good rub. If there are things I can improve about my technique, don't hesitate to tell me. I've only done this half dozen times. I know my son, when he conditions his boots, he will tell you that he really slathers stuff on. He almost uses stuff too liberally. But again, based on what I've read, there's really nothing wrong in applying a lot. All you have to do is cover the entire surface of the leather, and once you've done that, you can wipe away any excess. So let's just see here if this gets any kind of a gleam to it. Make this gorgeous evergreen Cheaha leather pretty. I feel pretty good about that. All right, we'll see. So, yeah, that's kind of shiny. Whoa. Actually, I kind of like that. It's interesting how the leather on this part of the boot is just a little bit lighter color than on the other parts. And I can feel, oh, it feels much happier. This is a much happier boot right now. It looks nice. and haven't shined up the second one, and I can see the difference. I can see how it is definitely, it gives it a shine. So I better give this one a go. The laces are popping out, they're ready to go back on there. But as you can see, it's a pretty easy procedure to condition your boots. And you know, when I was growing up, leather shoes, it was just the norm. Now there's so many pleather products. I think that's just a euphemism. To me, it means it's low quality material that ultimately comes from petroleum. We're really lucky that we understand the value of leather, of using that on our feet, of treating our feet to this. You know, it's a luxury, and it shouldn't be. It should just be the norm. It should just be the norm. I like to watch TV shows and see what rich actors put on their feet when they have a choice. We all deserve to have good footwear. So anyhow, now this good footwear is even better. It looks great. I think it looks gorgeous. So if you have any suggestions or any tips for us, let me know. Hope you enjoyed this fun video. I think that conditioning boots is just one of those relaxing little things that you can do to sort of spoil yourself, take the edge off of a stressful day, and make something that is already beautiful even beautifuler. So on that note, have a great day. Take care. Bye.